way.
Shoulders!
Side. I feel it a lot.
You're just the back.
If I keep my elbows
Shoulders.
nice and tight, I feel it a lot in my triceps. So you want to bring them down.
Warm up.
And push. I like to push personally with the outsides of my palms. Right here. My hands are about shoulder width apart. Push with the outsides of my palms. And we're feeling it. Right here in my
Come on, we should all know this shit.
Shoulder width apart.
You should do all this in school.
My hands are a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. I'm pushing with the outsides of my palms.
Warm up. Get them ready.
For one, I like using all the
backwards.
different heights so that I understand how it's going to hit my chest differently. That's all I'm doing is figuring out this exercise.
Didn't that know me?
That way I'm like, oh,
No, I'm recovering from shoulder injury, so
getting everything
don't be going mad.
I hit my first exercise, I'm fucking stiff-dicked into it. Another thing, when you're doing these, you can do half reps. Whenever I come out and I'm in full extension and I lock out, I put more stress on my shoulders and my triceps. All of the stress comes off my chest. You can't squeeze your chest here like this. Most don't. In the exercise in the bio, you'll see me say, squeeze at the end of the rep. That means squeeze that fucking chest out. So you're gonna lock out and squeeze the bench. Or I'll stay here 3/4 or 7/8 of a rep. Pump, constant tension. Do not lock out. Half rep. If I'm doing a half rep, I'm only going from the bottom to halfway.
Oh, not getting the blood in there.
Area. That's going to be all right here. Full extension, other muscle groups start to come in and activate. I don't want that. I just want this right here. That's the half rep concept. All right, this is still part of the warm up here. Cable crossovers are a pec deck. We don't have our pec deck yet, so we're going to use the cable crossovers. With this part of your warm-up, it's like a pre-exhaust for people that have trouble activating their pecs, for people that have stronger shoulders, or they just can't get these to fire until like halfway through the workout. The goal with this, I want everybody to leave their ego and don't concentrate on the weight. I want you to get your chest to activate. I want you to feel the muscle work. I don't want your shoulders involved, or I don't want your shoulders taking over this exercise. You're gonna come back and you're gonna feel it. I want you to do these so that you feel it in your chest. The goal is to, in a sense, pre-exhaust, but push blood into your chest so you get it to activate. So whenever you move on to your next exercises, you're feeling it move. The blood is moving. You have a mind to muscle connection. This is an exercise that takes, it doesn't take everything completely out. It removes the majority of shoulders and triceps and puts a lot more emphasis on your chest. It's all we want you to do. Nice clean reps. Get your chest to contract, feel it stretch. That way, whenever you move into your exercise, your big heavy things, how to thicken up, everything's activated, you feel it. This is what I've done with myself and other people whenever they have trouble building a chest. Whenever I need to activate or I do a pre-exhaust type of workout, this is how it works. A great warm-up is, to me, the foundation of how to prioritize a body part to get it to grow. You need to push the blood in there and have a solid warm-up to fuck shit up. All right, your first exercise for mass building for me, incline barbell. I love incline barbell and I fucking absolutely love incline dumbbell presses. My chest, these two exercises. I prefer incline dumbbell. I can't say that this doesn't work. It's great. This is an exercise where obviously you can do less weight on here than you would a flat bench. I don't like flat bench. I believe that incline exercise on chest for everything. So whenever you're going to do this, seat position is going to play a role. Your shoulders being warmed up. Where you bring the bar down, huge role. Or you bring it down to your chin, you bring it down to your upper lip, you bring it down to your chest. You'll see people do it a number of different ways. There's more than one way to skin a cat. I like to bring it down to my chest. Why? Because whenever I go heavier and heavier, if I only have the mobility or the range of motion to go down so far because I'm too tight or too muscle bound, it's a great way to tear things. So demonstrate right here. So whenever I come down, if I only come to here, and this is like all that I'm capable of doing, instead of coming down to my chest, whenever I move up to like 365 and move some weight, I start stretching, I'm like, I'm too muscle bound, I'm not mobile enough to get that, we have a problem. Whenever we do this, I prefer, on these bars, I put my ring finger right here on the neutral part of the grip. Because when I come down, I want my arms to be perpendicular with this. That 90-degree angle. And then as I come down further, it pushes a little bit further and stretch out. But if I go too wide, too much stress is on my shoulders. If I go too close, not enough stress is on my chest and too much on my triceps. You want to find that happy balance. It's going to play a role depending on how fucking tall you are. Nice posture, good base, ass is in there. I'm going to drive up. When I come down, breathe in. Now, notice, for me, I don't fully lock out. I go to about 7/8 of a rep with constant tension. That's how I like to do it. As I continue to work up, you'll see me do 3/4 of a rep with heavier weight. The goal is constant tension to build bigger pecs. This is not fucking powerlifting. Full repetition is not what we need here. We need constant tension on the muscle to get it to grow. And as you get better at it, it gets fucking, when you get stronger, move up in weight, have a spotter, be prepared. But the goal, build bigger pec. When you come down, like I said, me, down to my chest, right here. I envision that because I want it to come straight across. In my head, how it works is, wherever that bar is going to is the portion of my chest that I'm building. I could be wrong. I don't really give a fuck. That's how my head works, and that's how I built this. So, like I said, down. Whole time I'm envisioning building that big fucking strip, that shelf that I'm gonna build right there. Strip right across the top that bar is just going right over. And as you build up in weight, you get bigger.
With the new Google Pixel 7 and 7 Pro, know the language with Live Translate. It works as you read, talk, or type.
How much is cheesecake?
Fast, powerful, helpful. Google Pixel 7 and 7 Pro.
Incline dumbbell presses. My absolute favorite chest exercise to date. Ever since I was young, I always just like moving the fucking big dumbbells, the 150s on incline. I also like the mobility of it. How I'm able to move and position the dumbbells rather than something that is more restricted, such as the incline barbell. Both still great exercises. You have to fucking do both. Both are necessary though. So with this, the position of the seat is where it becomes most important. I like a 37-degree angle. Not 45, 30, I like 30 for some of my exercise, but not for when I'm moving big fucking weight. I want more stress right here on the upper portion. As you lower your bench, start moving into more of a flat bench. Obviously, no shit, Seth. But this, I love doing incline dumbbell flies at this height. Incline bench, that's the position that I like. With this, again, like I said, you're gonna be able to manipulate hand placement, where you move with the dumbbells, also with your elbows. The goal with this is to hit your chest. If you're feeling it too much in your shoulders and you're not hitting your chest, you're doing something wrong. That has to be understood. So make sure when you're doing this, we'll demonstrate, just like everything else, in a nice strong base, you're into it, up when you're here. I also, look how far I come down. I bring these dumbbells down. I don't only go to here. I don't like that. I think I need more of a range of motion so that I'm here, down, beside you. Now, you can either, the reason I like dumbbells, look, I can move them however I want. If I want to stay in this position, like a power grip or a neutral position, I can. If I want to kick them out, I can. If I want to come here, and then I can. If I want to start here, and then move up to like that, I can. That's why dumbbells are great. So, when you're doing these, keep all that in mind, that it's doing different things than just a bar that keeps you mobile and immobile like this. Am I making sense, Shane? Yep. Perfect sense. See, I'm smart. So here, with this, elbows in a good position. The further your elbows kick out, the more shoulders activate on me. I prefer to hit as much chest as possible with this. You have to leave your ego at the door whenever you're doing all of these things. You need to make sure that we're optimizing the exercises to benefit your chest and not just stroke your ego. That took time for me to learn. Every now and then I still get caught up in it. Just always keep that in mind. Start here. As I move up in weight, and it gets more dangerous because your other ancillary muscles aren't keeping up with it, and you bring them together, you bring together heavier weight, it's going to add another factor to risk injury. Keep them here, and I also prefer this. I like to keep the dumbbells angled. The most important thing to understand is you have a number of factors that come into play that don't on incline barbell. Like I said, when you're here and you come down, you want your arms to be perpendicular, just like on any other bench exercise. And then when you come up with dumbbells, you can bring them together. When you bring them together, you're gonna be able to squeeze the upper inner portion of your chest, and you're gonna be able to feel it. Whenever you come up, you're gonna be able to feel it right here, the upper inner portion, when you come up and bring them together. Are you still gonna feel it here? You're right here, you're still gonna feel it, but when you bring it together, you're gonna be able to squeeze it. This is all a game of fucking inches. These little inches that we're doing, they will add up. You have to find ways to manipulate them for your physique, for your goals. So you have to experiment with them all. I love dumbbells. I love fucking heavy dumbbells because as you move up in weight, 150 pounds in each arm is way different than 300 pounds on a barbell. I attest dumbbell inclines to the beautiful tits. All right, so next we're doing incline dumbbell flies. My second favorite exercise. I have so many favorites on chest day. If I had a huge dick, I'd love big dick days, but seat position plays a huge role. Like I said, I like a 30-degree incline bench here. With all flies, I look at it as you need to hug a tree. You need to keep your elbows in a fixed position. Your elbows, everything needs to stay parallel with each other, like you're hugging a tree. Within some exercises, if all of a sudden your elbows start to kink in, too much of your shoulder takes over. A lot of people will notice that on pec decks. We don't have one here to demonstrate, but make sure when I'm here, it's like I'm making a most muscular. That's the envision that you should have with it. So whenever I'm here, hugging a tree, we demonstrate. This outer and upper portion here. Whenever we sweep down, I go for a nice, deep pull. Outer, upper, incline dumbbell flies. As you move up in weight, me personally, you'll see it in some of my other videos, whenever I start hitting the 80s, the 90s, and the 100s on incline dumbbell flies, you'll see it almost like a fly press. I bend my elbows more, but I still keep a fly motion. It is, in my opinion, a fucking great way to still use heavy weight and use a fly exercise, but build that outer upper portion. So I'll be here. It almost looks now like a press, but I'm still in that fly position. They come up and squeeze up top. Come down. It's like a fly press. I fucking love that, but I only do it whenever I start to move up in heavier weight. It's almost something that I do to protect myself from injury or from too much of a risk of injury when I'm using heavier weight. But it's still using something to build this fucking thing out here. Because this out here, whenever you go to make your muscular, this is that thickness right here, that outer stuff. Exercise, I test all this too. Let's do flats. All right, so now we're on the flat dumbbell flies. Another great exercise. I fucking love them. Goal here is your outer portion of your chest. That's how I do this. I'm going to still, with this exercise, I still do it as a mass building exercise. I want to move heavy weight, hence that position with your arms like hugging a tree. I look at pec deck and cable crossovers as my detail exercises. I don't look at this as a detail exercise. That's why you see me put it up front at the beginning of a workout, like your second exercise. So with this, down. Hug the tree. Hug the tree. Hug the tree.
Get off.
No surprise, you're sold. You're near great schools.
My love them. Very straightforward. Again, when you're doing these, I like to hug the tree like this because if I come down and I open up, I start to put too much stress on my shoulders. If I'm straight on, there's no way I'm using the 45s. Not straight arm, hug the tree. Very simple. So with this exercise, as I go heavier, work into the 80s and the 90s and the 100s, the 110s on flats, you'll see me do that fly press again. The fly press motion, whenever I start to work into heavier weight, I'll come down and it'll be like still like a press, but I'm still in that fly motion with a neutral grip. And I come up. it's almost like on the way down, you see me open up more. The way down, I open up more. Into the press. The whole thing here is building this thickness right here. It's all that's occurring in my head. You ready for the next little tip here? With this, I love doing what I call the trifecta. We'll go over here and demonstrate real quick. All right, you saw in part one me talk about trifectas. You see, I was pointing here, a trifecta, because I don't have a better fucking name for it. Maybe somebody else named it something cooler. I don't know, this is what I call it. Trifecta. I want to do 2 3/4 reps, 2 3/4 or 2 half reps, and 1 full rep. That equals 1 repetition. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. That's 1 rep. 1, 2, 3. The whole thing is I'm going to use those 2 half or 2 3/4 reps to keep constant tension on that force production portion of the repetition. I don't want the full range, the full repetition, because when I do the full repetition, I'm going to incorporate other muscle groups such as shoulders and triceps, and I don't want to. So whenever I'm 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, I'm only going so far to activate this portion, that force production area, or all the thicknesses. I don't want this or this. You can do it with incline barbell, incline dumbbell, flat dumbbell flies, flat dumbbell presses, incline dumbbell flies, pec deck, fucking all the different exercises. You can even do it on squats. Whole goal is whenever you're targeting certain parts of a certain body part. All right, so the trifecta. All we're doing, hugging the tree here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 half or 2 quarters with 1 full rep. That's 1 rep. So if in a workout you see me say flat dumbbell flies, trifectas, 3 sets by 5 reps, that really means you're going to do like a total of 15. So you're going to do 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. That's how I position in the workouts. When you look at bio and you see the workouts, that's what I mean. Great way to add intensity, great way to target a certain part of a muscle group. Bodybuilding, remember, we're manipulating these exercises, these different things to get shit on you to grow, fire, activate, so that you feel it, so that you can build physique, feel good naked. All right, so with this next exercise, dumbbell pullovers, using a flat bench. All right, with this is all rib cage expanding, and I use it for the lower portion of my chest. I'm gonna stretch this shit. I wanna tear all the cartilage, I wanna open up. This is one of the exercises that help me be able to do a vacuum. I have to expand my rib cage and open up and get all my breathing techniques down, because all the organs and all this shit has to go somewhere. So it's gonna go up. At least that's how it works in my head. I think that's how it works physically. There's a number of things that go through it, so just continue to pay attention, listen to the details in here, body position, everything. So, me, I'll work up to like the 100-pound dumbbells. It's a lot because I'm gonna tear, I'm gonna stretch everything. This is not a comfortable exercise. This is not going to feel good. You're gonna feel everything expand and stretch out. That's what we want, more blood flow to be able to flow into your chest. I like to put my shoulder blades right there on the edge of the bench. Notice I have a good base. It's like doing the hip thrusts. Yeah. Whenever I do this, I'm gonna sink my hips down as I'm doing this exercise. Right here, my shoulder blades are on the back there. Now, I'm gonna come up, and as this, look, my body becomes parallel with the ground, okay? Hips, parallel with the ground, body, parallel. Now, as I'm gonna bring this back, it's gonna stretch back. I'm going to sink my hips as this stretches back, so now look, I'm just fucking completely open. Pull up. And as I come up, I'm bringing my hips up as well. As I go back and I sink my hips, my serratus gets stretched, my rib cage opens up. Now, whenever I pull over, this right here, the bottom portion of my chest is what I'm going to yank over with. And whenever I bring this dumbbell over top of me, I pull it over, and as I'm doing it and I get to the top, I'm squeezing my pecs. You can see my chest activate. This is what I'm pulling with. Here. Big stretch. And I'm squeezing that lower portion of the chest so you get that thickness. So whenever we're here, we want that hang. That's what we're after. So we're pulling over. thickness. Shirt's back on. All right, so with dumbbell pullovers, I love supersetting dumbbell pullovers with another exercise. Simply because it just makes me feel better. I look at this as an area where I'm not doing any type of pressing motion, so that way it's like I'm exhausting my chest and I move it, and I'm like, fuck it, let's do something. Push-ups on a Smith machine, great way. Dips. I love supersetting things. I love supersetting this with dips because it's going to kill this outside portion, just thicken the fuck up. This is the dip machine that we have. The assisted dips are great. Say you suck at dips or you have bad shoulders. If your shoulders suck and I put dips in your workout, don't do them, motherfuckers. I have pretty shitty shoulders. Getting older, not enough growth hormone. Need more dips. That helps too. Dips are a great way to build this portion because as you come up again, you're using this outer lower portion of your chest. I'm not a big decline fan. I will put this in place of decline. But when you're doing it, how you position yourself is going to play a role. I want you to lean into this. I want you to treat this where you're over top of it so that we're pushing with this portion of your chest. And me personally, I'm pushing with the outer portions of my palm. When I'm in here, I'm not like leaning forward. If I lean forward on it too much tricep and too much shoulder. Here. With dips, go to failure. If your failure is like 3, hit on this. You should shoot for 8 to 10. But I want you to do it immediately after you're done dumbbell pullover. Why? Again, you're just pushing exercise. You're just moving blood. You're exerting yourself. I want you to push yourself so far where you're like, fuck, that was really hard. That's the only way to get real results, in my opinion. It's one of the reasons I look like I do. That's why I push myself. That's how I looked at every single workout. And still to this day, even though I don't compete, I just want to do it because it makes me feel good. Dips. They can be dangerous. If you are not strong enough to do them, you can tear your shit. It will fucking hurt you, but it's a great exercise. Big fan of them. Like I said, I like to superset it with either pec deck or dumbbell pullovers. All right, this was a piece of equipment that we sought after. An incline machine press. All right, I know it's still plate loaded. If you have machines at your gym that you like to use, you can't really manipulate them too much. You can change your hand placement perhaps a little bit, but it's a machine. Get in it and go. So here's what I love about machines. You're going to focus on that targeted muscle group. Upper chest, that's what we're working here. This is where I would add different types of intensity. This is whenever I would do something like an FST7 or set sets or the trifectas, because rather than worry about all the other different parts of the muscle group, I can focus on the targeted muscle group that we're working. So that goes with any machine that you're going to do, whether it be an incline press, whether it be a flat bench press, a piece of hammer strength equipment, whatever it may be. Even on incline Smith machine, you're in a pretty much, or just a Smith machine in general, you're in a fixed position. That's a con as well as a pro, because the whole thing is you're targeting a certain part of the muscle group. So use this as a place to add that technique or that intensity to your workout to exhaust that particular muscle group. I just like it. Again, hand placement. You can go out, you can go further out, you can go further in. Negatives. Another great thing for machines, because you're not worried about all the other parts of the body or muscle groups chiming in or taking over. Negatives are a great way to add intensity to a workout. So again, since I'm in a fixed position, I can't do much else. I'm up, nice and slow, on the way down. Great ways to add intensity to your workout with machines. So whenever somebody asks which one's better, fucking free weights or machines, both need to be utilized. Easy as that. I do like free weights though. All right, this next exercise, ladder push-ups on a Smith machine. I'm stealing this from John Meadows. John Meadows is he is a training and nutritional genius. He has so many different things. He's done a great job. I learned it from somebody that was training with him, and then I don't know if this is exactly how he explains it, but it's a tremendous idea, and I think
I just love doing this exercise.
He's the one that made the video.
With heavy dumbbells.
I'm not stealing. I don't want to steal it from you,
No,
John.
can't.
Ladder push-ups are absolutely tremendous because it's kind of that thing where
Shoulders.
it's a great way to burn out at the end of
The
workout.
easiest thing to
Start
say.
at a certain rung, at a certain height, find a good position with your hands. Again, hand placement is going to play a big role. If you go wide with your hands, you're still going to hit portions of your chest, but it'll put more stress on your shoulders.
See, the chiropractor and physio
say going wide isn't a good thing, because it is, because you'll hit different portions of your chest. But we want to optimize chest all the way. Like my hands right here, a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And I'll just do 10 push-ups here on this rung. 10 push-ups here on this rung. 10 push-ups on here on this rung. 10 push-ups here. And then I'll come back up. 10 push-ups up. 10 or as many as you can get. This is an awesome way to set the tone at the end of your workout. See how far you can push yourself. Say you're going to start at the top, go 1, 2, 3 down, and then 1, 2, 3 back up. The whole goal is to kind of see where you stand. I look at it as like a mental and physical challenge for myself. If your goal was 10 reps at each rung, get 10. If you do realize you can't get 10, do 8. But you want to go all the way down and then back up. Or say, I'm getting fucking 10 at each rung all 6 times. And if you have to take a break in between for 10 seconds, take the fucking break. But if you have a goal, you set in your head, do the motherfucker. I think this is a great way to end your workout. See where you stand. And as you're going up and down with the rungs, you're going to be able to feel the different portions of the chest that you're working more. Obviously, you're using the whole fucking thing, but it's going to focus on different portions. And again, with your hands and how you squeeze and how you press. Like as you go down, where are you putting your chest? Me, when I'm doing a push-up, my hands are always at nipples. Just right here now. Awesome way to end a workout. All right, and for the finish, the absolute best exercise to finish every chest workout, cable crossovers. I think whether you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, pro, amateur, whatever the fuck you are, everybody finishes with cable crossovers. With cable crossovers, a number of different variables come into play. Why this is such a great way to finish your chest workout. There's so many different variables. So the only way to do it is to dive in. But let's talk about the variables. You can pull from up here. Whenever you come in, you're going to be able to do these from up here. Right here. Right there.
This is broad as it bleeding gets.
There are so many different places to start with this. They're all going to hit different portions of your chest. How do you choose? Well, you just do a bunch of different ones and see which one works best for you. I prefer them from the top and from the middle. I don't like them too much from the bottom. You will see me do them from the bottom, and it is effective. And you will feel the upper portions of your chest pull. The only thing I don't like about this, which is pretty fucking big, is I feel my shoulders engage so much at the beginning that it takes away from my chest. Because as you can see, as I'm back here, I'm getting ready to start. I start to pull with my biceps, pulling with my shoulders, and then I finally get up to my chest. Some people love doing these for their upper pecs. I feel it, it's there, but for somebody that's not as advanced as me, I don't like it. I'm just gonna be flat out. Do they work? Fuck yeah, sure they do, but I don't like it. But, there you go. Just my 2 cents. I like hanging up from up top. This is where I feel most comfortable, and I like manipulating the exercise as we'll go through here. The other factors that come into play. So I prefer this, whenever I come into this, there's a number of different things that come in. I'm going to step forward with this. As I step forward, it's like a big, most muscular, like it's good pepper stomping. Stomping. You're here. Again, there's me hugging that redwood, hugging the tree. Right here, bringing it out. Now what can happen next? Okay? Now, rather than bring it here in front of me, down to like my belly button area, right out here, bring it out towards the front of my face. Still a cable crossover.
Like that. I'm gonna call
Still
it
a
a
cable
night.
crossover, I'm just hitting it from a different area. Or I can even bring it higher.
She's ultimate.
You're gonna feel it
Got me
differently in
sick.
your chest. I'm feeling it right now. That's all we're doing here, just getting a different feeling. And then,
Steak,
I can step back,
vegetables,
bend over a little further.
and some revenge.
Still, having that treat, still have that.
Nice.
You can do
Sir?
so many different variations of a cable crossover
I'm just
from
gonna
the
put the
same
gear,
position
mate.
just by changing your hand placement
put
or
the-
your
you put me
ending
down in all
and
10
then your
minutes.
stance. When you're doing this and I'm looking at myself in the mirror, remember, everything that I'm doing, everything that I do
All right,
has a
so-
purpose. It's all happening systematically. I'm like, okay, if I want to do my most muscular,
She's ultimate.